Anxiety is installation above the amount of plastic in our oceans, or, in special, how diminutive suspended particles of plasticity and some artificial material are penetrating each portion of our ecological system. Can technique assist address the issue? In October 2009, surfing tutor Rachel milling machine operator went to assist Pure up an isle off the shore of Maine in the polar east of the U.S. Down there had been a hard tempest, and we found the bathing beach coated in wreckage, she says, generally cleaned up plasticity fishery pinion. Her man was frantic. Sea wreckage is one of the few things how very do me irate, he told. So MS milling machine operator, who had investigated sea archaeology, solved to dedicate herself to compliance plastic of always achieving the sea. In April, she began marketing a specific device for breathtaking such diminutive bits of artificial content, named microfibers, how go off our clothing in the clean 4 persons inches, 10 sm, India and done of processed tire. The bark dribble imitates the pattern of coralline in the sea, and captures among a block and a tertiary of microfibers in each clean, the business says. Customers on the crowdfunding website Kickstarter before ordered 15,500 of these in 2017. Bark dribble is one of several little begin UPS work to hold microplastics and some microfibers out of the water supply framework. The disgusting truth is how we could be ingesting 11,000 trimming of plasticity a year fair via consuming mollusk, says Gent College's Lisbeth van Kouwenberg. He's a contamination we all promote to while we clean our clothing. Up to 700,000 microfibers can barn of a common 6 kilograms, 13 pound, domestic loading, says Imogen Napper, a doctorate sea scientific investigator at the College of Plymouth in the UK. And a significant minority group can do it in the sea. So washing is lathe oceans in a big plasticity broth, says MS Napper. How can I halt my wash setting plasticity in the ocean? Lot of these fibers, that can be as little as 3 microns, a 13 the breadth of a humane wool, are too little for water supply treat seedling to shoot. In spite creature so little, natural pollutants in the oceans, love polychlorinated biphenyls, PCBs, and dichlorodiphenyl trichloroethane, DDT, can adhere to them, creation a unpleasant amalgamation. Down there can be as lot as 100,000 microplastics in a cube meter of sea, researchers tell, that are later corroded by sea creatures. More than rather than 2/3 of minnow kind in California markets include microfibers in them, says Chelsea Rockman, an aqueous ecological prof at the College of Toronto. Some human beings work to hold microfibers out of the water supply are Alexander Nolte and his boyfriend Oliver Spies, both of ecstatic surfers of Berlin. They developed a washing bag named Guppy Friend following coming up in the concept time brainstorming session at a Yale kindergarten, says Mr. Nolte. The bag cushions clothing to produce less plasticity fibers, and catches such how shape, he says. If you clean artificial textile fabrics, down there are 86% less fibers how break down, and such how do break down are in the pouch, Mr. Nolte explains. Love bark dribble, they begun in a Kickstarter campaigning, that close in December. At first they mined the bag was a rather funny concept, and we can give it to marketplace really rapidly, says Mr. Nolte, or we were radically incorrect. The largest problem, he says, was to get openings in the bag the order amount to let in quite water supply, out of producing microfibers flee. It is cute lightweight to do a pouch, but to do it in a way how gets the thread order to bring fiber spilling is cute top technology, Mr. Nolte observes. In Denmark, 60% of all wastewater sediment is utilized in farming, says Lars Beest of the KD team, a wastewater technology business in the southern Dutch city of Vila. These continuous remnants of waste management water supply treat are allocated on cultivated land as fertilizer. But plastic in the sediment later come the meal circuit. One issue is how largest wastewater treat seedling dongti aim to shoot microfibers, substantially since regulation dongti need them to. So MrBeast's business has advanced a new filtering technique how can shoot 90% of microplastics, he says. Same's hoping to get the drawing up to 96%. The final aim is to recirculate all the remote plastic, says Mr. Beast, and receive to the spot wherever microplastics are a source. 4 persons scientific and biological engineering students at London's Empire School won an award in October for upcoming up in and cheap way to shoot microplastics of wastewater. Representing and further connection to the filtering phase of treat could shoot above of 99% of microplastics cheap out of refurbishment a treat center, says Dario Mungiardi, one of the students. Bark Dribbles MS milling machine operator, who as well rest a pure water non-profit, the Rosalia Draft, says these washing and wastewater treat technologies are additional. If fair 10% of U.S. households utilized Bark Dribble, it would hold the counterpart of 30 millionth water supply glass container of wash in social waterways a year, claims Rachel milling machine operator. If you eat or sip or carry clothing or use objects, she says, the affects thou,